My name's Travis Bricks, and this is actually part of my Lego City from home that I just brought down here to Chicago to show off. We can start over here. I started off with this first, and this was actually my first set that I took apart to make into my own thing. And so it started with that, and then it slowly came out to the rest of the island. I got the Ominous Isle here last year. And then kind of started to work back from it to fill it in, and then it suddenly became this giant mountain. I really got into the pirates because the ships are just so cool. There's just something about the real cloth sails that makes it real fun. And we just kind of expanded into the whole thing. And there's all kinds of little stories I just like to tell. There's a little video set over here because I absolutely love the video line. And there's
one of the few video fans out there.
Right, I know, but there is a whole there's one over there too. But I love the video stuff. And there's also a Fabuland tree because I love the Fabuland things, and I just happened to get that in before I left and thought I'd stick it in the mock.
Yeah. So I love the kind of homage this is to the old kind of 90s era Islanders Pirates stuff. So what all types of kind of minifigs and things have you included from that era?
Yeah, so there's about 250 figs total, and it's a mix of the old stuff and then some of the new stuff that Lego's bringing out. So all the stuff on El Dorado Fortress is all the newer style. On the ships is the actual older style. The Armada figs are all back there too, with 3 times the amount that comes with the actual set. And then the pirates are from new, old, anything that's piratey. And then there's also the little rock monster cave on the side with the power miners, and then of course the Islanders.
And I love the way that you've done this rock formation here and just kind of paths and kind of the different stories going up there. So take us through some of that and what are some of the stories you've included on the mountain?
Yeah, so there's lots of little things, and I built the path first because I knew when I went to do all the rock work that I needed to build the path first to make sure I didn't cover over the path. So there's kind of pirates going up the side, and there's little Islander sections. There's little obviously the power miners, which is one hiding out over there. There's one over there hiding out too. And then there's there's all of the Imperials looking for all the loot and pulling the cannon, and just looking for all kinds of gems and treasure and all kinds of things.
And then what do we have at the very top there?
So the very top is the Islander King, and he's hiding out as he's getting some tributes maybe or whatever. There's some Islanders down there playing in the pool with a skull and just having a good time.
Yeah. And coming back to the ships, which are just such a highlight here, how did those kind of come together for you?
Yeah, so the Black Seas Barracuda is the first one I got about 2 years ago, and then I realized that ships were really cool. And so I started collecting them. This one's a just different color variant of that, plus an extra hull piece. And then I just started collecting ships because that's what happens when you get into pirates. And then last year I talked with the Brick Stuff guys about adding the cannons that fire. And then I realized, well, I want to make the broadside thing. So we've been back and forth for a while about to make them all fire together, make them all fire with the sounds, and amp up the sound so that you can hear them and all that.
Yeah, I love the sound effects. Just kind of help bring the whole scene to life here. So coming back over to the fortress side, what was your approach here, kind of building into the cliff side?
Yeah, so the cliffside happened because that's literally where the other half of my city is. Okay. And so it was kind of the necessary break between the modern city and this little subsection. And then I also, since this was my first thing that was breaking the Lego mold, right? I didn't want to have to figure out the whole thing. So I just had to figure out half and then do all kinds of little stories. There's all 3 of the different daughters. So the captain's daughter, the governor's daughter, and the admiral's daughter. So that's from all different pirate lines, and there's a bunch of castle figs because the castle peasants kind of working with that theme as well. And then there's some pirates being arrested. There's some pirates breaking in down here coming up the cave, which is actually a really cool play feature of the El Dorado thing. The bottom of the sail picks up, and so they're coming up through trying to rescue. You got the Armada figs coming in to trade or offload from their ship, and just kind of fun little stories and lots of figs and lots of details.
And water is something that a lot of builders tackle in lots of different ways. So how did you decide to approach all the water for this layout?
I watched a lot of videos about how people did it, went back and forth about how to do it, and I ended up with the gradient pattern with just the 1x2 tiles and some cheese slopes mixed in. There's about 10,000 tiles here, That was across 4 orders because I kept thinking I ordered enough and then realized I don't have enough and had to order more. And I didn't go with any sort of specific pattern, just kind of let it work itself out so that when the light hits it, it kind of gets different textures and you can see different patterns across it.
Yeah. And there are so many lights here, which I think just really makes it pop. So we'll talk about kind of the process of including all those lights. How much work does that kind of add to a layout like this?
It definitely adds a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of money. But as I go through building each section, obviously I map out kind of like the bigger points. And then when I start to do details and start to actually build into things, I will add the wires through. And I'm literally turning off the lights in my room just constantly to check to make sure I got enough light or too much light or whatever, and just kind of work through each step by step. But it's all done as I'm actually building. So I'm doing details as I'm building, especially on the mountain. The fortress is a little bit easier to work around because the plates just pop right up and there's all kinds of wires and stuff.
Do you have plans to expand on the pirate section? I know you said this is part of a larger city you have.
So I'm not exactly sure yet. There's a couple things brewing. Maybe this way, maybe that way, maybe down. We'll see.
Okay. And for people who want to see more of your work, where can they find you online? What kind of stuff do you post online?
So I'm both on YouTube and Instagram as _Travis _ bricks. And I post city, I post how-tos. I have videos about cleaning sales, because that's something that everyone asks me about. Post the city updates, a little bit of set reviews, but mostly just about how to do Lego.
Yeah. Well, great work. Thank you so much for bringing this out to the show and for taking us through it today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for stopping by.